All right, what is up, everybody? Today, I want to go through something really important that keeps coming up, being the differences between businesses that are succeeding and those that are failing. And the big topic is that to succeed, you have to build a brand with purpose. Okay, so I'll go into our story, how you can do this, and what to do next. First and foremost, my brother and I started an e-commerce business back in 2013, now doing 500K a month. And now that we've systemized and automated everything, we now have other eCom brands with their scale getting to 100K a month. So if you're serious about your growth, jump below, book a call, jump in the Facebook group, and let's have a chat. All right, so building a brand with purpose, right? So there's a few crucial elements to this that make up that definition. But the real benefits of being able to do this are really that firstly, you have the motivation to start, to sustain, and then to grow and build and continue from there. Basically, when we started our brand, this was probably more of a side note, but also something that we had learned from Tim Ferriss in the 4 Hour Work Week, is around a helpful product that you actually use yourself that you can bring to the market. So a lot of us think sort of a little bit too small in the sense of, oh, I've got this weird interest, or I've got this weird thing that I use, or, I like to do these little things. It's just me, my own kind of little world. But as soon as you kind of open up your optics to other opportunities or other people, you quickly find that there's many people that have the same little habits or routines or issues or problems that you actually have. And so where this was relevant to us was when we started cold pressed juice cleansing. This was relatively new within our own market. Buying expensive juice was relatively new. I'm talking, the difference between spending $4 on a juice to $9. And so we thought, there's not going to be people in that market. People don't want to just drink juice for 2 days. Like, that was our market. However, because it had stemmed from something that we were actually doing ourselves, we really quickly found that this was not the case. And the fact that the market was actually a lot bigger than what we first thought. So this gave us a lot of motivation to continue to grow and to serve people within our market. So the point number one, how to be able to create a brand with purpose, is to scratch your own itch. This is something that we learn. If we use a product ourselves, there's going to be other people that could use a product like ours as well. So by scratching our own itch, creating something essentially for ourselves, we can start to market this product for the reason I basically just mentioned. And what this does is essentially, it's kind of the old saying, if you create something that you're going to use, you've at least got a market of one. But that, more often than not, is going to turn into 10 to 100 to 1,000 to 1,000,000 people that have the same problem and want the same product. For us, really early on in the beginning, our market was cold pressed juice cleansing. And without going into, massive complicated detail about, converting people who are drinking Coke and Diet Coke to drinking juice and, doing juice cleansing, juice fasting, that wasn't going to ever work. And so our market of 1 or 10 became, well, who are those who are actually doing their own juicing at home, either juice cleansing or just drinking their own juice, that have probably used their own domestic juicer once and put it under the kitchen bench? They're going to be our target market. And what we really quickly found is that there were a hell of a lot of people exactly like that. So we developed the business by just scratching our own itch and then talking to people and putting our word out there, serving impressions to the market that, hey, this is what we do. That then people came out of the woodwork about, oh yeah, well, I'm interested in that. That's what I do at home, And so you don't know what you don't know. So don't underestimate the size of a market. Scratch your own itch to create a brand with purpose. And this way, you're always going to keep doing it for yourself, so you may as well do it and create a business out of it as well and serve other people. Another way to create a brand with purpose is something that actually helps people, right? So people that are looking for help with what you actually do. Now, it doesn't have to be a hugely desperate need or helping mechanism. For us, it is along the lines of health and wellness and weight loss and resetting. It's a lot of a lifestyle choice. And so that is obviously helping people, but your brand could be something different. It could be skincare, it could be cosmetics, it could be It could be fitness. It could be even apparel. It's something that they want or need and actually helps them with a certain thing that they're trying to solve. People wear clothes, obviously. So don't think that you can't help people in a certain way. There could be a certain fashion statement that people want to make. And so find those people that are like you. They're out there, I promise you. You're not that unique. Okay? And so find those people to help by scratching your own itch and then creating something that's going to help them solve that problem. They're the businesses that succeed the most, are the ones that are so niche that you're developing for yourself that you can then go and sell to other people. All right? And again, that will keep you motivated to start, to keep going, and then to grow beyond basically your wildest dreams, which is where we're at now. We don't just roll off the tongue that 500K a month is a reality for us now, but it started from our kitchen bench, and it started by tapping into the niche market. And then from there, it happened to explode into the mainstream for us. All right. The third thing is lead with the big goal. So once you've got you're scratching your own itch, you're actually helping people, lead with your big goal. So that creates purpose within a brand. This is what we want to do. We declared when we started out that we wanted to serve everybody in Melbourne, in Victoria, where we live, everybody to try a juice cleanse, a cold press juice cleanse, a karmic cold press juice cleanse. And so that was our big goal. We had that obviously internally between ourselves, and then we communicated that to people when we were speaking. That's how convicted we were in our products and how beneficial they could be and how helpful they could help people, and so that's what kept us going as well. And so when we started to get some early runs on the board, that was what kept sustaining us. The wheels started really turning, and our conviction got more and more and more. And then we started to get feedback from customers, and they were just loving it, losing weight, getting healthier, and it just grew and grew and grew. And so we kept leading with this goal, and we kept extending our goals as soon as we got that validation. But if we didn't have that in the very beginning, we wouldn't have any purpose throughout the way through, because people can see through you and your brand. They are very good at sensing your intentions. And so that's why it all comes back to why I even have a purpose. Like, what are the goals of the business? What do you want to become? What do you want to be perceived as? And a mistake that we actually made in the beginning was saying that we wanted to be perceived as a big company. That was a mistake, because what we ironically found when we basically dropped our guard and said, okay, we're not a big company, we're two brothers making juice out of our home kitchen, people resonated with that. They basically said, we don't care, we love the product, we want to do the programs, we actually want to support you, we don't want to support the big companies. And so that was our advantage in the beginning. And if we didn't have that, if we didn't take the masks off about who we were and what our purpose is and why we're doing what we're doing, then that could never have happened. And even now, when we have, we serve like 1,000 clients a week, like, people still see that as supporting a small business, supporting the local guys, and when we've been able to bolster that with our experience, their experience and their results that they actually get. So that's been a huge advantage to us, because if you've got purpose, then people see what that purpose is. Firstly, from the customer perspective, which means that they're building affinity with you. They're building a relationship with you and your brand, and it becomes about more than the brand. And you do this internally. It actually motivates you to keep going, to start, to keep going, to do the next thing, to do the next thing, to do the next thing. It doesn't just become, this is too hard. What's my next move? What business am I going to create, next week? So that's why it's so important to have a business with purpose. I wouldn't build a business or recommend anyone else builds a business without purpose. What is your unique selling point? What is your point of difference? What does your brand stand for? That's what people get attached to. Okay, so this is super important for brands that are trying to grow and scale and get off the ground and then grow to 100K a month and 500K a month and $1 million. Like, what is your purpose, and why are people going to come back to you? Come to you in the first place and then come back to you and then refer friends to you. That's the secret sauce of why companies go ahead and succeed. And you look at any big company in the market, you can probably look up these public documents, but internally you need to have these things dialed in as well, right? So to succeed, you have to have a brand with purpose. The three things I mentioned: scratch your own itch. That becomes meaningful and purposeful to you, and that reflects onto other people with the same problems. A product or a brand that actually helps people, same thing. They see through that. They want to know that they're being helped, and you genuinely care about it because it helped you. And the third thing is leading with the big goal. Share your vision. Share that about your brand and your business. Tell people. Put it in your communications. Put it in your socials. Put it in your post-purchase. Thank you so much. This is helping us, get to our purpose, which is X, Y, and Z. So share these things. Be open about these things. But this is what's going to keep you going. When the times get tough, trust me, this vision, this purpose is going to keep you going. So that's why brands succeed more often than not when you have a very, very specific purpose. You have an end objective that you're trying to get to, and everything comes through that purpose. Everything you do day in, day out comes through that purpose. So look, I really hope that helps. This is what we teach our clients to get on board with. And those that don't necessarily think they have a purpose more often than not do when we boil it down. And so I encourage you to think about what your purpose is, because you've got 10 times, 100 times more opportunity to succeed when you do have that purpose laid out. Scratch your own itch, actually help people, lead with the goal. Hope that helps. See you in the next one.